It's our pleasure today to introduce to you Dr. Harte. Now, he's going to speak to us about smart cities in the future. We certainly welcomed you as you are a member of our Rotary Club of Chilliwack Climate Action Group. He's a novice hiker. You'll get to be an experienced one in Chilliwack, expert football player, and super dad. What else do you want?
So who here knows what smart means? I hope everybody. Okay. Who knows what smart city means? Okay, a few people. So whoever raised their hand, I'm going to be asking you a few questions about that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so what do I mean by why? Why must we talk about cities? Right? So why is that a problem? It's good that people are living in cities, right? But the cities occupy less than 1% of the land on the globe, but are responsible for 60 to 80% of the GHG emissions. And at the same time use 75% of all the resources being generated. So if we continue at this rate of resource usage, we are projected to need another Earth by 2032. Now, unfortunately, in the supermarket, they don't sell them anymore. We have 50 million tons of food per year that's being wasted, 60% of which is avoidable, right? We have 4 million Canadians that are in food insecure households. And not just getting people to go hungry, that wasted food also generates a lot of waste. 18% of the total land area of cities is used to build those streets. And then add to that parking. There is no actual study that quantifies how much of it is parking. And if you look at the breakdown of those, if you look at Canada, a huge chunk of that is also gas, which we use for heating, right? So we need to look for alternatives. But this is the point that I wanted to make, is that I'm not exaggerating when I say that if we do not design our cities in a sustainable fashion, I don't think any other effort in trying to reduce GHG emissions can save us if our fundamental living is not sustainable, right? And so, next slide, please. And the other thing that is very, very important to highlight here is that a lot of the times everybody who is here who actually cares about this, they are working in silos and really individual verticals. But we are not individuals looking for individual goals. We are all in this together, and we have mutually beneficial goals that we want to achieve, right? And so that's why I want to look at it from the city's perspective, because a city is a model of our society, a mini model of our society where we live together with a lot of systems. And with that in mind, I just wanted to introduce this concept of city as a system of subsystems. So usually when we talk about bad news, there is way too much to do, right? When we look at the state of the things. But there's a good news as well. If you make a decision today and just get up and want to do something, there is so much that can be done there that you don't actually need to spend any time looking for things. Where is the smartness? Is the smartness in how we are planning the city? Is it in the solutions that we are implementing, the sensors, the technologies that we are putting in our infrastructure? How do we start? How do we start? Where do we start? Well, a good thought experiment for that is, what if we got a do-over? If there was no Chilliwack and we wanted to build Chilliwack all over again, how would you build it and what design principles would you use? Then what do you focus on? Do you focus on putting technology in? Do you focus on your human population and that demographic that you have? Okay, show of hands, who thinks Kamikatsu is a smart city? That's very interesting. So usually, because the smart city concept is so embedded with technology, people think that only big cities like Tokyo can be smart. Then let's come to the other thought experiment that we talked about. What if we had a do-over, right? So based on our learning, we will look at two different designs that are ground-up designs, right? Ground-up means something that you just build from scratch. So there's two concepts. One is designed for adaptability and resilience to rising sea levels. The other one is specifically designed for walkability and mobility as a service. Distributed these separately, then you can design each path for its own use. So your roads become narrower and they're only for cars, right? Your cycling lanes are independent of any ongoing traffic, so there is a lot more usage of the cycling lanes as you would expect just by the traffic, normal traffic. Then and you can beautify it for that very purpose. And then the walking lanes are truly walking lanes. It's not sidewalk. It's truly walking paths that people use to not only get from point A to point B, but achieve an enjoyment through the process and feel better, feel more empathetic to the people that are passing by, and feeling that sense of community when you see those people and you say hello, right? And so this is based around the concept of 15-minute city, which is the idea that one should not need a car to get their needs. They should be able to get their basic needs met within a 15-minute radius of where they live, either by walking or by cycling. The idea that our world is not a linear system, although we have designed our systems that way, and we say, take something, use it, and then throw it away, and it's a linear pattern. But essentially, that thing that you throw away doesn't go anywhere, so you have to think about it in a circular fashion. And I think the Zero Waste BC people talked about the circular economy aspect of it. And so they looked at they did a material flow analysis of the food that comes into the city. Where does it get wasted? So you see these gray-colored paths coming, and these are all the different stages where this food is wasted or lost. So there's, in the supply chain, there's losses, and then there's in the households, there's losses, and all of those angles, right? And then based on that, it gives them the data to be able to build their projects on top of it, their initiatives on top of it, so they can attack the problem based on that data, right? And it's not just a question of being good, because it makes economic sense as well. Because the first thing is that every city can be smart, right? It doesn't have to be a metropolis. It doesn't have to be a new development. You can mix and match solutions, very contextualized, very customized for what your city's needs and problems are. Then at the same time, you can look at, if it's an existing city, you can apply smart solutions that are specifically for existing infrastructure. But then again, a lot of our cities are expanding their boundary. So we have to then look at a kind of a mix of a solution where if you're building a new development, maybe then incorporate some design principles in there that can help you be more sustainable.
Very good.